This equipment is seen all over the city.
Starting robotic connection.
It's called a robotic total station, and it helps land surveyors get the layout of an area through measurements.
This does the bulk of the work for us.
That's Bo Duetz. He and Mike Stoops walked us through the surveying process from start to finish. First, they set nails and stakes at reference points in the area they want to measure. After establishing coordinates on those points, they set up their total station on one and a reference back site on another, usually hundreds of feet away. Those 2 points give them a line on which the total station can reference turned angles and distances.
Station setup completed.
Then they start collecting data. Bo takes a rod with a data collector and a prism on top that the total station tracks.
It's looking right at this line of LEDs.
Watch as Bo walks around with the rod as the total station follows. He's tracking and recording the distance from the station to the prism and the turned angle from the reference line, which gives the exact location of each point.
The equipment now is able to give you a distance up to a half a mile away. We're able to turn angles down to the 1 second of 1 minute of 1 degree, so a very tight accuracy.
An accuracy that helps the city plan projects.
We do a lot of in-house plan design for streets, for the plats, for developments, and we're able to use the information that survey obtains to come up with the placement of everything in its correct location, and they're able to design off the information we send.
For example, if work needs to be done on a street, surveyors find out exactly where the curb, gutters, and sidewalk are. And not just on that street, but relative to everything else.
So you've got an entire world. You want to break that down into a country, into a state, into a city, into a specific point. Our job is to come up with a specific point relative to everything else.
A job done by satellites and another piece of equipment.
There's an array of satellites that are constantly orbiting, and this locates approximately 15 of the 20-some satellites that are constantly orbiting, and through that trigonometry, it finds the exact location of this point.
But all this fancy equipment wasn't always here to help.
Approximately 30 or 40 years ago, none of this was around. They used steel tape and transits and theodolites, as they were called, and so there was no electronic equipment 30 years ago, and that's approximately when I started.
And old-fashioned was time-consuming.
The measuring tapes would be hundreds and hundreds of feet long, but yes, you can do that. It's the equipment that we have now simplifies that tremendously.
Because even though math comes easy for most land surveyors,
You'll see more guys with math backgrounds in surveying than an art history background.
high-tech equipment like this creates efficiency these crews appreciate.